All right. Let me hear you.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Is that good enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You ready?
About as ready as I'm ever going to get.
We're just going to jump in.
May as well.
When's the Common Ground Cup?
The 31st.
Cool. December, right? Oh, I'm going to miss it. That's the case.
January.
January 6th?
No, January 31st.
Are we busy that day?
Oh my God, these are in bits.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Common Ground Podcast. Your favorite format, Pauper. This is episode 103. I am your co-host, Cameron Schindler. Joined, as always, by James Hippo Hieronymus.
Couldn't come up with anything witty this week.
I was going to say Feldergriff.
Okay.
And I forgot what Feldergriff was, and then I remembered it was a magic card. And so that would have been appropriate, but yeah.
Fun fact for everyone. I have actually, never cast that card.
Why would you?
Because it's a hippo?
I think fair. I think a fun fact would be like you casted a Feldergriff.
No.
Yeah.
I've never. I think it would be more weird if I hadn't. I feel like it would be. I used to play a lot of Commander, dude.
That's
I own
fair.
one.
That's more than most. It's raining out.
Yes,
now.
it's supposed to
I could
be
hear that.
quite rainy.
But y'all don't care about the rain. No Thomas this week because we cannot have a week with the three of us on the pod together. That would be illegal.
Life happens.
Look, yeah, life happens. Wish Thomas the best. He's good. But sending good vibes to Thomas via mail. 812 East. Okay, that's my old address. So you can figure out the rest. Good for you. Today I got to push back another topic idea. We were gonna talk about Sky sent us a really cool email about approaching mirror matches, but that episode is down the stream. It's gonna come. It's gonna be fun, but we want to make sure we have a lot of thought put into that episode because I think that episode deserves a lot of thought, honestly, and there's a lot of meat on that bone to chew off of. So we're going to look at the most recent Paupergeddon results. This was tied to Eternal Weekend this week, or this last weekend. Yep. And we're this year, yes, too. What city in Italy was it?
I really don't remember off the top of my head.
That's terrible of us. But Paupergeddon happened. There's really cool coverage if y'all missed it. We can link that in the show notes as well. It'll be pretty easy to find. I didn't get it. I only got to catch the finals like a loser, but I look forward to rewatching that. And a little bit of housekeeping first. I wanted to shout out that the Common Ground Cup is up for registration, so you and your friends and your parents and your neighbors can register for that. Go get everybody at your LGS hyped for it. We had 67 players last time, and we want to cap the store at 80. Prizing scales with it too, so let's make this freaking happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
We already have one person who has signed up for our tournament.
I know. And don't let that scare you. Zach was, for 2, he was like the 3rd for a long time. And he was really scared, and we ended up having 67. And like the beginning of the day, it was 40 something, and then we reached 67 because Magic players will not plan ahead. They refuse to. So
I'm in this camp.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Yeah, I know. But
somewhat.
Don't be like your average Magic player. Be cool and pre-register.
Yeah, we want to see a bunch of people out there. We had a good time last time. We want to see more people.
More people the better. Let's cap this thing.
Make us sit in the booth all day.
Yeah. Make us watch 3 rounds of Fog on cover.
Good golly gracious. Alrighty. With that housekeeping out of the way, let's get this under wraps.
Do we just want to start? Do we want to start with the overall meta breakdown? Or do we want to start with top 8, you think? What's more appropriate?
No, I think let's start with how things looked beginning of the tournament.
What was the most popular deck?
The most popular deck was, and I'm not surprised by any stretch of the imagination, was the Madness deck. Deck's very popular. It's very good. It's very quick. It's very fast.
Which Madness deck?
Oh, it's the Mono Red Madness.
Okay, yep. That's a big difference,
yes.
too. Yeah.
Most people, I think, have switched over to that one.
And that was 10.9, so practically 11% of the room was on that. Wow, we got this big infographic, and it goes down to they did every single deck on here. We are not gonna do that.
No,
that's insane.
This one actually is
Oh, okay, you're looking at that one.
Better.
Yeah. I was looking at the pie chart.
So, We had Mono Blue Terror second. We had Jund Wildfire, followed by Gruul Monsters. Any variation of the Gardens deck, be it Jund or Black Green.
And I want to point out that Mono Blue had 10% of the room, so not too far behind Mono Red Madness, and then Jund Wildfires was 7.5%. And after Jund Wildfires, the third most popular deck, all these are now at 5%. So this is a pretty diverse room. The two most popular decks only take up 20% of the room, which you could play this tournament and not run into Mono Blue Terror a single time or Mono Red Madness a single time, which is pretty cool.
Unless you went all the way to the finals.
Unless you went all the way to the finals. And we're playing one of said decks.
Correct.
Spoiler alert.
Correct.
Yeah, so... wait, yep, okay. Anyway.
Moving further, we had Elves, Grixis Affinity, Mono Red Rally, Azorius Gates, the Tron variations of all varieties, the Wall Spy deck. That's actually a shocking number on that one, I'll be real honest. Mono Blue Fae, Familiars, Orzhov, yada, yada, yada. Get the point. There's a bunch of different decks here. And that's filling out till about 3%.
And I just wanted to, while we're still on like this broader topic of overall meta, I just want to point out that if we look at the last Paupergeddon, the Paupergeddon Summer Edition 2025, the whole 10-year anniversary Paupergeddon, Jund Wildfire was the most popular deck, and that was 15% of the room. So seeing the big difference of just popularity of the deck is quite shocking, because this is when people were really, really hyped on the deck, and then people were talking about the spy technology was this.
It is still a very popular deck in the room, make no mistake. It is interesting to note that the last tournament, the number of Madness players compared to this time, there's about another 30 extra Mono Red Madness players compared to last time.
The deck is, Mono Red has definitely picked up on popularity.
Yep.
I think because of the meta, there are like a lot of like combo decks it can race. It has game against, honestly, these decks that are kind of made to beat it, like Coggates with all like this burst of life gain, or Familiars with this burst of life gain.
It just doesn't matter.
Normally
games
against,
you just die out of nowhere.
Exactly. Normally against those decks that have those big bursts, it can be really hard to play these Madness decks or Rally decks.
Imagine you're just like, oh, I just gained 6 on a turn. I feel pretty good about myself. And then the next turn you just, oh, there's a gutter snipe in play. I just died.
If they just like gutter snipe,
Lava Dart you twice, Fire Blast you dead.
That's a lot of damage. Exactly. It's just, it's not hard for them just to have this big burst of mana out of nowhere. And that is an aggro deck that really wants to hit its land drops. I like playing it. It's I do want to play my 5th land or even 6th land in that, because I want to play a gutter snipe and immediately kill you, regardless if you put a cast down on the stack or anything. I can dart, bolt, fire blast you like you said, and just get it straight out of the way in the game. So I think that burst effect makes it really good against, I keep saying the word burst, it being able to kill you out of nowhere makes it really good against these fiddly mid-rangey decks
like Jund,
versus those decks used to eat up Mono Red Synthesizer or Mono Red Rally, or even like had good game against Rakdos burn. But the
synth deck is kind of just morphed into the Rally of the Hornburg deck.
So. Why do you think Jund Wildfire's decrease in popularity?
I think it does have a little bit of harder time with the Mono Red matchup. Like, it can still win. Like, I'm not saying that it can't, but I do think that that, and I think the huge uptick in like between the two like monocolored like aggressive tempo decks, like being the Red Madness deck and the Mono Blue Terror deck, like having those at the top is like kind of bad for that. Like, it's not the greatest thing for that. Like, Jund wants to beat up on one of those two decks, but it can't, like, one say it's really good at one of those, but it has a much harder time with the second one.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Jund Wildfires did have a better conversion rate at 17% this time too, which is looks like one of like,
it was up from 12, so it's pretty good.
Yeah. And this says expected conversion rate is 14%. I don't know where people get that number from, but it is. So it's better than the expected conversion rate barely. So if you are crowning mid-range, it's still not a bad place to be. Terror also doubled in popularity from the last Paupergeddon. Mono Blue Terror, that is. This deck has only proceeded to be popular in recent time. Turns out playing a 1-mana 5/5 Ward 2 is quite good.
Still is good. Can confirm.
Yeah.
Also, I do want to note another fun thing from the last Paupergeddon. The Familiars deck had the highest conversion rate. Fun fact, at 40%.
That was last Paupergeddon?
That was last. Sorry, of decks that had multiple pilots. Like,
Yeah.
Throw that in there. Let me make sure I throw it.
It's 100% with one pilot.
that's a bit much. But no, it had a 40% conversion rate last time. This time it was still a 29% conversion.
Which is very, very, very high. And it had 31 pilots.
That's
starting day
high.
one. Yeah.
That's a high win rate.
And it's just weird because that's a deck that we have not found success ourselves with.
I think that one is just that that's obvious by, Calicai's has played it for years and years and years at this point, but like the more you play with it, the more you just like instantaneously know what you're doing without having to think about it. And that saves, like, once you start saving brain power in that capacity, like you can start looking for cooler lines and stuff like that.
I can't speak too much on the. I know it has generally a good mono red matchup, but I'm curious about the mono red rally where it can grind so much, and the deck main board doesn't have a ton of removal for gutter snipes.
0.
And it's not a super fast combo. When can Fam's Goldfish you by?
When can Fam's Goldfish you? Turn 4?
Okay. So, yeah, that is a pretty fast clock, but, like, my experience, I've only...
It has to be, like, turn 2 wall, turn 3 wall, plus a thing, and then...
Hope they don't...
Well, actually, that turn
interact
you
too, yeah.
You even may be able to, like, snap on the same turn and make enough mana to, like, play a thing, and then you'd be able to do it on the...
See, we're not experts on that deck to be speaking on that, too, but I do think... the mono red rally, or not mono red rally, excuse me, that the mono red madness, again, like I said earlier, just it being able to kill out of nowhere gives itself a better position than Fam's, but Fam's more traditionally like beats up on mono red rally or the old mono red synth. They're traditionally burn decks, but
yeah, it also has like a good long plan too. Like the it's still a Murmuring Mystic deck too. Like its plan is to go a little bit longer.
And Archaeomance, Ghost and Flicker loops aren't terrible either.
Ephemerite's still a good card.
Yeah, these are all like good things to be doing against mid-range decks like such as Jund Wildfires or Mono Blue Terror or something. So
exactly.
I'm sure it's just a deck that if you know how it works, you have game against a lot of different things.
Yeah.
You just don't want to get comboed on faster.
Basically. Yeah,
but again, you can side into more.
Also, you do have a hard time
too.
with like smaller creature decks, like elves and stuff too.
Oh, okay, that
this
makes
is
sense.
a harder matchup.
That makes sense. Where they can just spew everything out, and here it all is. Yeah, I wanted to talk about some of the performance in some of these decks. Girl Monsters had, again, these are decks with at least 23 or more pilots. And Gruul Monsters had the worst conversion rate at 6%. So 49 players day 1 to 3 players day 2. That is quite weak. Don't know if it was just a bad weekend for the deck or just it's not good.
That is not good. I just think it gets like eat up on by like 2 of the like 3 like decks that you are going to see in the top of the metagame. Like, I think Mono Red just kind of beats it because they just, like, dirtle around and try to cast a Writhing Crystal on 3 and you just died.
And the conversion rate last year, too, was 6% of the deck, too, which is...
Yeah, I just think the deck does powerful things, but it just, like, doesn't have a way to fight other things that are going on.
I feel if you sign up for this deck, you're giving away a lot of your decision-making and a lot of your... What's the word I'm looking for that? Agency. When you sign up for this deck, to play this deck, you're giving up a lot of your agency. And I feel... I hate saying I feel in sentences, because if I say something, duh, that's what I feel.
That's obviously
or if I say I think, it's like, well, duh, that's what I think. But I think when you play this deck, you're kind of just coin flipping your tournament. And, spoiler alert, one of them made top 8.
Yeah.
And
so you coin flipped really well.
Exactly, so...
Yeah, I think this deck does have some amount of agency. I do think there are a lot of different lines that you can take with things like the like Bannerhide Crew Shock and things like that. I think the
agency in deck building or
agency and somehow the games play out. Actually.
Okay,
I think you have some amount of this here because of the way that the deck is currently constructed. Like you have you have multiple options even inside different pieces of cardboard.
But I would say a lot less than Red Madness or Blue Terror or Jund Wildfires or Gardens decks. All this
is essentially still slamming cards on the table.
Yeah, this is the closest deck you can play in Pauper to Hearthstone.
I'll believe you. I've played Hearthstone like 2 games.
But the joke early Hearthstone was called Curve Stone. You just played your 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop on curve and you try to win.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like this is the closest deck to Hearthstone where, okay, what's the most expensive card in my hand? Let's play that. okay, what's the next turn? What's the most expensive card?
Yeah, that basically is the goal here.
Let's play that. Obviously, there's a little more nuance to that, but if you need a ramp, yada, yada, yada. But there's that. I'm looking, another stinker that was kind of around here was this Esper Affinity deck. It just didn't do quite as well as traditional Grixis Affinity. Esper had a 7% conversion rate. It had 28 pilots day 1 and 2 pilots day 2.
Correct.
Just a lot of decks that can get under you, like Red Madness and Blue Terror, and a lot of decks that can outgrind you with Jund Wildfire or Wall Spy that will straight up kill you. So it's just kind of a hard place to be in this dirtily... Just being this dirtily mid-range deck is kind of a harder place to be. I played a few games with this, and it just felt like it could dirtle around with other dirtily decks, but if somebody is not playing your dirtily game, it gets pretty hard.
I think if you want to do this, you need to have access to a burn spell, and Grixis has that where this does not. Like burn, and by burn spell, I do mean two different things here. I do mean Galvanic Blast, essentially.
Then makeshift munitions
and then,
is the second.
Well, that's even a third one, so you got me there. The second one, I just lost it. Oh, Black Mage's Rod. Black Mage's Rod actually just turns your spells into lightning bolts, essentially, at some point, right?
If you're just chaining off all these spells, you have something to
show for it.
Yeah, yeah, I get you.
So I think that's part of the issue. That's also, I think, why even Mardu might be an option as well. Like, I think Mardu Synth kind of doing the same sort of in that same space.
Mardu.
Well, it's not very good, but I think if that's the space you're looking for, I think people are just pilled by Crowd and Relic. I think that's what it is.
The card's sick. It's really fun.
It's very cool. I'm not arguing.
Once you're doing the thing, it's so
yeah. It's
fun.
even. I mean, now there's copies of it in Grixis Affinity.
Again, my experience playing the deck is it's really fun when your opponent's also trying to dirt around, but when someone's trying to close out the game, you're like, whoa, let's take our time and set up our board states.
Yeah,
like Commander. I think those are the two biggest stinkers. Those are the only one that was also sub 10% conversion rate was Mono Blue Fae. Actually had 33 pilots day 1 into 3 pilots day 2 at a 9% conversion rate.
Yeah,
this is shocking to me, and I've heard from multiple people that Terror is really bad into Mono Blue Fae. So it really favors Mono Blue Fae. But the games I've played, I've been dumpstered on the side playing Terror. And I think that was you. You were playing Fae and I was playing Terror and you dumpster me.
Yeah.
And then I've been playing Terror and I've dumpstered someone playing Fairies.
Yeah.
That's just a matchup. If you're Terror and you're able to, maybe they have Spellstar Sprite draws and you're able to maneuver Thought Scours and Mental Notes and get your instant sorceries in the graveyard really quickly and power out these terrors that get under Spellstar Sprites. The game's pretty over. They can't swing into it with their 2/2 ninjas.
No.
And your clock greatly outpaces their 1/1s. Your 5/5s start beating up their 1/1s pretty hard.
No argument.
And they can't trade into them once they're on the board.
No.
And their snaps aren't efficient there. Once they're there, they're there. So that matchup is a lot more nuanced, and I think it's something I want to at some point spend more time focusing on, because I don't think it's super favored in Fae. Like, I've talked to a couple people, I've heard just fair.
We can also do some in-house.
We'll get to the lab.
We'll get to the lab and let's give some analysis going on.
Then we'll play 8 games and then it'll be final. Our 8-game sample will be like, okay, this is it. But no, I know what you mean. You play a few matches and you get a sense of something, and maybe that sense leads you in the wrong direction.
Possibly so.
So, 8 is a small sample size, and really 33 pilots is also a smaller sample size. But
I mean, that is still a healthy portion of if it's notable enough to be within the top however many notable archetypes. I think that's worth mentioning that it did not do well.
I'm looking at the conversion rate of last year. It was also at. I'm an idiot. This is the same Paupergeddon I was looking at.
It had a much better conversion rate last time.
Yeah, because
out of 80 pilots, 11 day 2'd.
It was the 4th most popular deck last year, last year.
One out of every 8 pilots of the deck did well. Did well with it day 2'd.
And so 13.5 6% conversion rate last year. So like 4% isn't huge, but like also like numbers, I don't know, man.
Ryan would disagree.
That's true. That is true. Our local numbers guy.
He is our local numbers guy. The numbers matter.
What are some decks that did well? We talked about FAMs that outperformed like
we had
the normal FAM.
Well, we had two copies of the Madness deck in top 8. So obviously that was like a really notable thing.
It had a really high conversion rate too, 19%.
It did.
Again, we talked about that deck just has this burst potential. It's kind of interesting because it does get wrecked by the mono red rally deck. So if that's low, because there's the two splits between the red decks, basically like mono red Madness, mono red rally, and rally really beats up on the Madness deck and the kind of the combo decks that aren't interacting with your board. The Madness deck is just so much better at dealing with interaction.
Correct.
It can make Jun Wildfires try to deal with your Gutter Snipe, and then you can kill them in response, versus Mono Red Rally, if they Card Clan Shaman your board and then pull some Maraska a card back, you just feel out of it completely. You're like, wow, I'm down a million cards, it feels like, in this game's out of reach. But Madness, you really have to be empty-handed for the game to feel over. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's why it's a very popular choice right now. The deck's gas.
It's very good.
Yeah, you're playing 8 draw 2 effects and 4 Faithless Lootings, like, or 3 Faithless Lootings or whatever.
I played it in a couple games while we were cubing against Mono Blue Fae, which felt terrible, honestly.
On what side?
I was playing the Madness side. It was the first time I'd actually ever played a game with it.
Mono Red Madness?
I have not touched that deck yet.
Gotcha.
Shockingly, I have not touched that deck. I don't touch the like purely mono red decks in the format very often at all. Mm-hmm. I just don't know why.
You got dumpstered by Fae?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it'd be like that. I got dumpstered playing Fae against mono red. So I also never drew like a third land. So.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't know how I'm supposed to be playing this necessarily. So I think that would just come with games being played. But
that could be kind of hard too.
Yeah.
That might be a little bit harder one. I feel like you have the lava darts for their fairies.
Yeah.
Too, which can be nice. So just knowing when that. Another deck that did quite well was Blue Terror. Funny enough, it was at its expected 14%. Or that was day 2 minute. Okay, no, it hadn't. Excuse me. Mono Blue Terror also did quite well. It had a 19% conversion rate. So just right up there, tied with Mono Red Madness. The two kind of most known decks coming into the tournament had a
really good conversion rate into day 2. Yes. Mm-hmm. I think the one that's actually most notable in the top like 10 decks is got to be, aside from the Familiars one, as we mentioned, is the Elves. I think Elves having such an insane conversion rate into day 2 is like, that deck is just so prone to dying to a Card Clan Shaman. But the fact that there are so few Card Clan Shaman,
not even every Jun Wildfires player is
playing Card Clan Shaman. Exactly.
And that could be another symptom of you got the right side of the bracket with Elves too, and just the majority. That's just going to happen in some tournaments. I think the deck is quite powerful too, especially when it's left to its own devices. It's just going to put out a board state, and even then, when it can be tricky to Card Clan Shaman it without a
Timberwatch in play and a Kyrian Ranger.
Why can't I think of the Death Touch thing that gives Card Clan Shaman?
Oh,
I can see its
analysis,
Toxin Analysis,
or the plus. Some of the Grixis Affinity plays.
Without giving Card Clan Death Touch, it can be pretty tricky to play around Timberwatch Elf, especially when there's a Kyrian Ranger in play, because you just keep what matters.
Kyrian Rangers in play.
Yeah, exactly. They just keep what matters, and I found that quite interesting, like playing on the fog aspect of it, and.
Oh, with your Crypt Rats.
Yeah, with my Crypt Rats, it was really awkward to play around Kyrian Ranger and Timberwatch Elves. I'm like, dang, especially when I don't want to die the following turn.
Yeah, this is why an old favorite of mine for when I used to play Elves is a card called Spider Silk Armor. Mm-hmm. Just an enchantment that gives your team +1 and reach.
I bought a place of that card when I first started playing Magic, so I thought it was cool.
This is sweet.
I didn't play Elves.
I played in the Elf side. I always brought it against like Wrath decks, because most of the Wrath back in the day were. If you put 2 of those on the table, like there were no Wraths that kill your table.
Yeah. No.
So it was like
now
insane.
we got these dang Card Clan Shamans.
Yeah, we got Card Clan Shaman coming.
Crypt Rats. Wait, these are old cards.
Yeah, nobody played them back then.
Oh, that's funny. Really?
Not really.
Dang.
I think maybe more. Yeah, people didn't even really play Cryptrats back in the day.
Another deck that did quite... Oh, Croissant, you knocked over my mic. Coggates also had a 21% conversion rate.
Yeah, Coggate's very good too.
I know I said that...
It's a deck that people poo-poo on, like, in between Paupergeddons, like, all the time.
But it just wins
and
one
then
or
it just
something.
and then just does, like, has a very good time in the tournament.
It's a very skill-intensive deck.
Yeah.
So I think that makes sense. You start giving good players powerful decks that, when they're piloted well, can do well.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think there are a ton of options for that even right now too.
I think it's just another deck that has good game against everything. You have like counter. I hate saying like you have counter spells for these combo matchups, and you have this life gain against these bird matchups. I said it's not as good against Rally. Like it's better against Rally Red than Madness, but doesn't mean it doesn't have any game against Madness. Madness can run out of steam, and you could have a Sacred Cat and play in 2 Basilisk Gate, and you're just clocking away. So it does the Murktide thing in Modern, or the Delver style thing, where you could afford to pump a Sacred Cat or pump an Outlaw Medic, get in there, and they can't really race that if you're making a 14-point life swing every turn. Like you're dealing them 7 and you're gaining 7, and then on top of that you hold up counter magic. That can be hard, and he doesn't play a ton of counter magic, so if a skillful pilot knows with the counter the right thing, the deck can be like very well. It just doesn't have a lot of matchups where it folds against. Yeah. Maybe Gropanza can make a return and start blowing up some Basilisk Gates or some ETB tap lands.
I saw a tweet today that somebody was like, got these Mono Red Madness players packing, what's the card? Molten Rain in their sideboards.
Is that the 3-mana destroy target land?
And they lose 2, or they lose 2,
That was in the sideboard of one of my decks too.
Oh yeah, that's an old one. Yeah. Actually, that's one I don't think I own. Interestingly enough. But yeah, no, it's also a good time to play some Coggates. Coggates is always good. Always play Coggates. The deck's always fine. Like it's always like it's just got all the game plan covered. Like it just had unless it's just like a pure combo deck that you just like that kills on turn, 2 or 3.
I wanted to bring this conversation around to Mono Blue Terror again. Do you think there is? We live in a world where there's a possibility of it getting banned because he said it was on a watch list.
Yeah.
With it being such a known quality.
Quantity?
With it being so quality known as a quantity. And still having... And again, 19% conversion rate isn't like, oh my god, like the sky's falling. Let's see, like we need to ban it. Or like, obviously I'm not talking about that. Like I don't want this thing banned. But do you see a world where you look at it, it's like, man, people know it's on their radar. It's not like people are slacking on Graveyard Hate. It's not like people are not bringing Red Blast in. It still does well.
I would personally rather see Mono Blue Terror sit atop the number 1 deck in the format than Mono Red, personally.
Number 1 as in most played, or like number 1 as in like win rate?
Most played.
Okay.
Personally. And I think just like win rate. Like I think when they just like the fair, well, quote fair, and this is very
1 mana 5
loose here. The fair deck like that is just like the top thing to be a deck that just like puts an expensive like it's like the Murktide Regent thing, like you were just talking about. It's like counter a couple things, put a couple things in the yard. Here's a couple of idiots. Good luck. Like, can you beat this card?
Good luck with counterspell backup.
Yeah, good luck with counterspell backup. Like,
good luck. Here's a dispel. Ooh, gotcha.
Exactly. So I think it's a deck. Then that's usually the sign of healthy formats, in my opinion. We said on the Legacy episode, I said when the Delver deck, like the Delver style deck, is like the number 1 deck to be playing. I think that is a great thing, and I think that is the same applies here. Oh, it does have Delver in it, so
doesn't feel oppressive too.
No, it doesn't feel like oppressive. No. I think it is just a good deck. It rewards you for playing well.
And on rate, Terror is a pretty messed up Magic card.
Correct.
And I just hope it doesn't get banned based on rate alone.
That does set. I mean, the precedent's already been set, but like that does set a further precedent for future.
For being Chrysalis being legal
options.
And Terror being banned would piss me off quite a bit. But I don't want to open up that
portal
bucket of worms.
Bucket of worms.
Shall we top 8?
Yeah.
8 through first place. James Hippo Hieronymus. What? Congrats.
Me?
Would you like to do the bracket so I don't offend an entire country?
Oh, goodness gracious.
And instead you offend an entire country.
All right. So, our top 8 in this tournament.
No particular order right now?
No, I'm just going to go. I'm going to go in an order.
Oh, okay. Okay, perfect.
All right. In first, going into top 8, this was Fragnelli on Gruel Monsters. In second, we had Kowalczyk on Demir Terror. In third, we had Policia on Cawgates. In fourth, we had Barty on Cawgates. In fifth, we had Nowak on Mono Red Madness. In sixth, we had Morvek on Mono Blue Terror. In seventh, we had Bergamini with Familiars. And then in eighth, we had Postorino with Mono Red Madness.
And that was going into...
That was going to top 8.
Okay, perfect. And Mono Red Madness took it down in the hands of... How did you pronounce it? Postorino?
Postorini.
See, I'm going to piss off an entire country. I apologize in advance. So they took down the whole tournament, beating Berganami on Familiars in the finals. Correct. That was a cool game. I got tail into that. Hearing the pop-off is really sick on coverage. If you get a chance, go back and watch that.
Immediately run away from the table.
Yeah, that's cool. Sick. I love a good pop-off, and I think Magic players need to be better at popping off.
Agreed.
That stuff's awesome. Pop off. Be happy you won something.
It feels good.
Yeah, it does. That's awesome. So congrats to honestly everybody in the whole top 8. We don't have top 16 or 32 yet, but congrats to them too in the future. Indeed. It's like 1,000 person tournament. That's huge, man. That's not quite. I was gonna say bigger than anything I played in, but I played in Dallas was pretty big. I think I can't remember how many when Dallas was, but who cares?
I played in some big GPs.
Yeah, and having top 8 in any of those big ones, so like that's insane. That's an incredible run. So like you said, 2 Mono Red Madness and 2 Cawgates, which is kind of funny to see those. And it looks like the winner of a tournament Mono Red Madness ends up playing against the Mirror and Familiars and Gruel Monsters in the top 8. So dodged Cawgates, but somebody had to beat Cawgates in that. So that's interesting. Anyway,
Familiars beats Cawgates there.
Excuse me.
That makes sense.
Oh, I was kind of reading
just
backwards.
Basically can't beat Infinite Life.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's pretty hard, and not a ton of way to remove stuff off the board. You got a few journeys and a few counter spells.
Yeah, but you can also just all play it all in one turn.
Yeah, because you don't have like infinite amount of removal interactions, Cawgates.
Correct.
But the 2 Mono Red Madness decks, they were main board pretty identical. One was playing 4 Gutter Snipes, and then the other was playing 3 Faithless Lootings, or 4 Faithless Lootings, and they swapped 4 and 3. So they just -1 Gutter Snipe, +1 Faithless Looting, vice versa.
Yep.
So
sideboard's quite a bit different on the 2.
Why is that? What was anything of note?
Oh, I got to go look it up again. Moment.
Uh-oh.
Yes, I have it here. So the person who did not win, the had the 1 less Faithless Looting.
Nowak.
Yes. Had their sideboard was 2 in the Festivities, 2 Relic Opportunities, 2 Red Elemental Blast, 4 Pyros, 2 Cast in the Fire, 1 Tormod Script, 1 Fairy Macabre, and 1 Electrickery. It's a lot different.
Yeah, I like it. I feel that makes sense. Like 2 graveyard interaction, just enough to stop a combo. Like just enough to stop a combo.
Well, 4 pieces.
Oh, excuse me.
You have 2 relics too.
Oh yeah, that's plenty. Exactly. You draw like 1 or 2, and that's plenty enough to back up your aggressiveness and kill them so they don't early murk you, but that makes sense. And the Festivities for fairies or Rally Red or elves, that card's been increasingly impressive. 6 blast effects, that makes sense with terror, so
yeah,
pretty standard there, I think. The other deck was the winner, and they were on a full set of 8 blast. That's nutty.
Crazy sauce.
Yeah, I guess that's how you beat Mono Blue Terror. I don't even... When it comes to that, if I'm playing against Mono Blue Terror and I'm bringing in 8 blasts, I don't even know what I'm trimming. Right? What do you sideboard out in that? Are you just saying, like, get rid of 4 Faithless Lootings, get rid of, like, 4... See, I don't even know. 4 Fiery Tempers at that point, if you're just trimming stuff, and... Then are your draw 2s even? I guess that's where you're getting... I guess maybe that's my first thought is get rid of 4 Fiery Temper, 4 Faithless Lootings. And just try to win the game with whatever you have because they don't have a terror on play in play.
You know better than I would. You've played more by both sides of that matchup.
That's like my thought, but again, I hate when it's hard to sideboard with decks like Mono Red Madness and Mono Blue Fae when you're bringing in that heavy of a card. You're sitting there looking at your deck and none of these cards are bad.
I was like, oh, my cards are good. This is kind of a good problem to have.
Yeah, it's tricky. It's trickier in that spot. Looking at the Demir list too, I want to throw it back there. This is the non-Fae Demir list, so it is the Demir Terror. It's playing 4 Terror and 3 Gurmag Angler. I don't think it's playing any Cryptic Serpents, it looks like. But 4, it's the Sneaky Snacker version, which is quite fun. So you have ways to bring back Sneaky Snackers from the yard. You have 1 Deep Analysis, 4 Brainstorms to get them, but your way of pitching them to the graveyard, you have 4 Mental Notes, 4 Thought Scour.
They also played the new card Abandoned Attachment, which is a sweet card.
What does that one do?
It's the lesson card. It's either 1 and then a blue or a red, and it's it's an instant speed, discard a card, draw 2.
So that's your main way. That's how you get them out of your hand, basically. Yep. So if you mill them over, you have that way to discard them and get them back, which is cool. I like the style of the Demir deck, and I think it's fun that we don't have a stock list of this is what the Demir deck looks like. We've talked about this before, how Demir looks just like very diverse in the things it can do.
Yeah, because it's a bunch of good cards that you can just kind of interchange. They're just all good cards.
Looking at the Gruul Monsters list, this was the 4 boarding party list, and I heard rumblings besides the person who who top 8 of a tournament. I don't think any of the other Gruul Monster decks that day 2'd had boarding party in their deck, and that's just from rumblings on Twitter that I heard of. So it's interesting that the 4 boarding party deck did make top 8 again. I think you're just kind of
number 1 deck going to top 8.
That's sick. Again, I think you're
high rolling. I mean,
exactly. Not to take away from his player's skill or anything, but you kind of are like high rolling and hoping like, man, I hope I have a good bracket and I hope I have good draws. And at that point,
hey, stuff happens.
Yeah, it's true.
Obviously, it happened.
Yeah, so that's sick. Other than that, it's pretty interesting. 2 ram throughs main board, so you have some interaction there, which is kind of a complaint of the deck I had when playing it. It's the Bannerhide Crew Shock version 2 and 3 Eldrazi Repurposers. So
no, how many Nyx? Is there any Nyxborn Hydras? 0, 1, maybe
3 Nyxborn Hydras.
Oh, that's interesting, actually.
Yeah, and those aren't fun to hit off your boarding parties.
That's why I was like, ooh, that's interesting.
You aren't playing any Annoyed Altasaurs, though, in this list. Which is, you're capping out at 6. That's really interesting. So 0 Annoyed Altasaurs, just, the classic,
The Cameron,
Yeah. The Mono Blue Terror list at top 8, it was on 3 Boomerang. Ooh. So that's some like older technology. 0 Force Spikes. We've been seeing the Force Spikes pop up recently.
Yeah, we've seen the Force Spikes pop up with the Murmuring Mystics, no Delver.
Yep. So the no Murmuring Mystics are playing Force Spikes, is that what you're saying? Or with
Murmuring Mystic and Force Spike.
That makes sense.
That's the one that's been more popular lately.
So this was playing the, like I said, 3 Boomerangs, 3 Disrupts.
Ooh.
That's kind of out of the ordinary.
That counter an instant or sorcery unless they pay 1 draw card?
Yeah. Yep. So I guess that's their Force Spike there, and 2 Spell Pierce, 2 Sleep of That, and you're not going to believe this, 4 Cryptic Serpents and 4 Tolarian Terrors.
8 snakes, you're telling me?
Yeah.
Crazy.
So that's kind of interesting. Kind of funny with top 8, we did see the Gruul Ramp, and the Boomerang is quite good against Gruul Ramp.
It is.
Again, a card that's insane when you're ahead and quite bad when you're playing from behind.
Yeah,
that's a card when you're riding the same with Force Spike. You draw one of those later, and
you're like, this debating. Is bad.
But that's the great part about Brainstorm is hopefully you get rid of the bad cards and keep the good cards.
That's the idea. You tend to want to do that.
And then I want to take a quick gander at this FAMS list.
Interesting one that has 2 main deck negates.
Okay, and Meeting the Mind's becoming more stock in this list too.
I like that card quite a bit.
Yeah.
It was not in the list that I played a couple weeks ago.
Okay, interesting. That's the 3...
I was just playing whatever Jake was
3
playing.
and a blue Convoke, draw 2?
Yes.
Yeah. So that is a nice card. I can't really speak too much to the FAMS list on what looks stock and not stock now, but 2 Ephemerate, 3 Mold Drifters, 2 Murmuring Mystics, And again, this does look like it's playing more counter magic and 2 negates to prohibit.
I don't think there's a stock list of this.
Okay,
I think everybody kind of just has their
puts
preference.
their own little sauce on it.
I think everybody just has their own preference. I saw a list this within the last few days or so that had an old piece of technology with Sage's Rodin as a way to win.
I don't even know what that is.
It's one that allows you to mill kill your opponent.
Oh, okay, interesting. Looking at the Cog Gates list, there's not too much different in between these. There's a couple swapping out 1 or 2 copies here, but I think this is a deck that you could say has a fairly stock list to it. You kind of play the cards that the deck plays.
I'm going to play whatever Anna tells me is good to play.
That's fair.
I'm going to ask her.
But the 2 deck lists are quite similar. So that's your classic shell. Even in the sideboards, you're looking at a little different. One of the lists has 2 Crimson Fleet Commodores, which is the
red...
Crimson. Oh, is it the red one?
Yeah.
The red monarch creature?
Yeah.
Okay. I was confusing with the blue one, whatever the blue one was.
Azure.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Then Palace Sentinels.
That's the white one. It's the white monarch creature.
So they both are playing 2 in the sideboard of the monarch creatures.
I like that.
Different flavors.
I saw people doing that over a couple weeks ago, I think. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like the monarch creatures. I mean, it promotes people to want to attack you, but then they don't want to block, so it creates this weird sub game as well. It's nice.
This is quite interesting. So Barty is playing 0 ways to remove artifacts in the sideboard. So there are the other list has 4 Dust to Dust. It says 0 Dust to Dust. No, revoke existence, exile to artifact or
artifact or enchantment.
Yep. Yeah. So nothing of that sort. Just that kind of makes sense with Affinity kind of being on the downswing a little bit. Just that's not what I need to care about. And again, I think this deck can fight on the grindy aspect against Affinity and doesn't really need... I mean, Stone Raining somebody twice, 2 turns in a row is pretty good. But it doesn't need to do that to win that matchup, I don't think.
No, I agree.
Cog Gates is also nice because you get to pack a ton of the different blast effects. So, that is nice, Do you have any closing thoughts on Paupergeddon?
Yeah, this is our first, the biggest in paper tournament post banning of High Tide. I don't think
0 copies of High Tide.
Crazy.
They didn't make it very far.
No, they did not. So it's interesting to see where things kind of landed as far as the Italians, or really Europe, is concerned. For Pauper. Interesting conversion rates of decks. Interesting, nice, pretty diverse top 8.
Yeah,
I like to see 5 or 6 different decks in top 8. Yeah, it's nice.
And you got aggro. Little combo, I guess you have FAMs as your combo deck of choice there. You have combo, ramp, aggro, your mid-rangey stuff too. So that's a good swath of Pauper.
Yeah, I like it.
Just not my preferred combo deck in there. Spy, I'm excited to see the full top 16, top 32, because I'm curious to see where the highest placing Fog list did. Same thing with Spy. I'm curious to see how Spy did overall. We didn't really mention the conversion rate of Spy real quick. That was
not the greatest.
16%. That's fine. It's completely fine. Yeah. So no, it wasn't bad at all. Just overall, it seemed a little combo light, but because in this main infographic, combo wise, you only have Wall Spy and Familiars. I guess you can call Mono Red Madness a combo deck, 2 Mountains and a Fire Blast.
I guess you can.
I'm kidding. So I'm excited to see the full breakdown. There is this ginormous pie chart that I could thumb through and see percent, but doesn't tell me where the deck lands or anything,
Yeah.
I see Blue Turbo Fog at 0.95%, but that's not what I'm interested in,
You want the 4-color fog.
The 4-color.
5-color fog.
There you go. 5-color fog.
5-color fog.
I think I am. No,
which is what Tron is, isn't it?
Yeah, 5-color. No, it plays 2 moments piece. Doesn't make it a fog deck. Yeah, see, how did Altertron do? Maybe they're on some recent in top 16 or whatever. Who knows? So I'm excited to get the whole breakdown. That I hate doing these this early because I like seeing the whole top 16, top 32s. But we got to do what we got to do.
Got to give the people content.
Mm-hmm. Real quick, shout out to cubing this last week, and that was fun.
That was fun.
We got a draft. Ryan had a little museum of modern cube,
which had like a theme of multiple like copies of cards to give it a more constructed feel, which is really cool. But it's also picked 2, and he trimmed it down from the original list to facilitate exactly 16 cards per pack for 8 players.
So you never wheel anything.
Which is really cool. So it's really kind of hard to read the table. A little hard to read the table.
I got a pretty clear signal when I got. I had a Splitter Twin and Deceiver Exarch. In pack 2, someone passed me Splinter Twin and Pestermite in the same pack, like 3rd or 4th pick. I'm like, okay, I'm clearly in my lane. My deck was sick. I love my deck, and it was a solid 1-2, and I think the 2 losses.
Your deck. I think your deck was very good. Your deck should have beaten me.
I think the deck could have 3-0'd too, and
agree.
it was just it was fun though. Like I just loved playing that deck. Like I love casting Electrolyze. I love casting Sphinx of Rev.
Yeah,
that style of Magic is so fun.
I get to play a really fun like mid-rangey zoo deck.
Yeah, your deck was really
like
cool
a 5-color mid-rangey zoo deck, with like double Wild Nacatl and a bunch of really good 4-drops, like double Bloodbraid.
Stoneforge too.
I had Stoneforge with a sword. I had couple like mana leaks, couple counter like a spell snare. I had some really cool.
The game you beat me in our game.
Yeah,
I got the first game, and I remember that game. I get probed you.
Yep.
And I think I went to 12 or 13 or something like that, and I saw Boros Charm and Tribal Flames in your hand. I'm like, oh, I am not safe.
No.
I am nowhere in the round.
I had double Tribal Flames in my deck and double Boros Charm.
That was sick.
Oh, yeah, my deck was like really cool.
And Brute ran me over with some Boros Burn, just like Goblin Guides.
Oh yeah, he was
lightning
just like
bolts and Monastery Swiss Spears beat the crap out of me. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I lost to Thomas in the finals because he.
What was he playing?
He was playing Grixis like mid-range card.
Oh, I did see his deck. His deck was cool.
Yeah, he shadowed out of my fetch land that was going to go get my 1 black source that I could get in my deck. And I had like 4 black spells in my hand.
Sick.
I'm like, this is
so sick.
I'm like, this is abysmal.
That's so sick.
I got punished for playing my 5-color zoo nonsense.
As you should. I like that era of Magic too, because you really get punished.
You definitely got punished.
Playing your mana base too.
It did.
You feel it when you're
my mana base
shocking,
was
awkward.
Fetch
Fetch shocking. It hurts.
My mana base was just awkward, like having to be all 5 colors and have enough fetches and shocks to facilitate all of that was really hard.
Well, and even just
also he had triple copies of shocks and double copies of fetch lands.
Yeah, in the cube, which is really cool.
Also,
he had 3 copies of Shocklands.
Oh, is it 3 copies?
You had a Sacred Foundry, I had a Sacred Foundry, and Brute had a Sacred Foundry, so it was 3-3.
Oh, okay, yep. That's right.
Because I remember Brute was like, maybe I can go get another Sacred Foundry. I'm like, nope, I've seen all 3.
Yeah, that was a very good land for me.
Yeah,
don't turn to my Wild Nacatl.
Yeah, I did. Then
we played You're Not a Peasant Cube.
Exactly. You know why it's called that?
Because it'll never get recognized at CubeCon.
No, because it's not a peasant cube.
Because it would have never gotten recognized at CubeCon.
Recognized at CubeCon. Ouch. Okay. Oh yeah, it's just like
because that's why it was.
Yeah, because it's the same peasant cubes get voted in CubeCon every time, so I'm like, screw it. And I just want to play some of the cards I like. I like War Leader's Call.
I got to play some cool cards too.
We had a really dirty match. That was fun.
My deck was incredibly dirty.
Yeah.
I had to play Seasons Past control deck. I was splashing green for Seasons Past and like one other card.
Your deck was so dirtily. I was Sans Black Gates.
Yep. So
I had a nice little Gates package with Basilisk Gate and the equipment that pumps for Gates, and then like Gates Ablaze, and then just some lands that let my Cliff Gates and stuff come in untapped and stuff like that. So I was just Flicker, but I also have Curse of Predation, so I can like turn on this mid-range, get you dead plan real quick, or just Sphinx's Rev, kill you to death with milling. But your deck was so dirtily. I was Sans Black, and I was looking at my sideboard, and I thought to myself, I can bring in the Black Gate and Gonti, and I can get there, I think. With it, and I could one game, it just didn't come up, just because I was milling you out or whatever. So that was really funny. Just
that is funny.
Sans Black, yeah, I can sideboard into this double black card. He's giving me time for that, but I had a fun time with that. I like seeing it. Again, we did a little team draft in there. I think we ended in a tie too.
It was a tie.
And Everyone's deck looked pretty cool.
It was pretty sweet.
I think nobody 3-0'd too in that,
No,
which is
nobody
in the
did
team
3-0.
draft, which is I am A-okay with.
I mean, it's a balanced environment.
Hopefully. I don't know. I remember people were complaining about my cube, about Gonti.
Yeah, that card's still obnoxious.
And then not this last time, but the last 2 times we drafted it, just Boros aggro one, and people were complaining about Boros, so pick a lane what you think's too powerful.
It's probably multiple cards that just don't all show up at once.
Who cares? Cool. It's things I like. Aggro and Gonti, sick. Awesome. If these are the best things to be doing, I'm happy with that. Gonti's sick. You can't tell me that card's not sick.
It's very good.
Yeah. But if you made it this far,
Cube episode in disguise.
thank you so much for listening. If you got any comments, questions, concerns, you can email us to us at commongroundmgpod@gmail.com. That'll be in the description below, as well as a link to our Discord if you want to join our Discord server. Hang out, talk Cube, talk Pauper. Talk, whatever you want to do. Cheap talk. Cheap talk. It's only talk
It's
if you want to
only
join.
talk.
Yeah, so join that. It's fun. You can ask us questions there. You can ask questions at our email. We like to hear your topic ideas, run with your feedback. Sky, we are going to get to your question one day and do a whole episode for it, but when the stars align and all 3 of us can sit in a room together.
Yeah, it'd be great.
That being said, peace out. Drive safe.
Later, everyone.
Love you, Thomas. Thomas. Our sweet baby boy, Thomas.